Hey, BassGeek here, and we're going to continue our ledge bait breakdown series, this time with giant spinnerbaits. That's right, guys, I said giant spinnerbaits. This is a massive spinnerbait. It is 2 ounces. It is a ginormous spinnerbait. Guys, I can tell you way back in the day, before the whole swim bait craze really caught on, the way we fish deep ledges with moving baits, you know, you didn't really have crankbaits that could get down there, you know, to that 20 plus feet. You know, they could get down to 20. You could long line them, of course, and that's the thing that has been done in my area for years and years and years. But one of the other things that we did was slow roll giant, just ginormous spinnerbaits. That was really the ledge, the swim bait, you know, kind of back in the day. Now, the company that I get mine from, they make 2 different styles. Well, they make a few different styles, a couple of different heads. They actually make a spinnerbait head, but they also make this head, which is like a swim bait head. Now, what I like, they make a ton of different colors. Guys, again, not sponsored by this company. It is ledgehog fishing. They make a lot of good stuff. They've supported my channel for a long time. And just being cool guys and let me use their stuff and contribute in the giveaways, and they're gonna they've contributed to the 25,000 subscriber giveaway. Yep, I'm gonna do my best to do a 25,000 subscriber giveaway, and I'm gonna do my best to make it huge. It's gonna be huge, just so you know. So the big thing about this head, this is the swim bait head. So one of the great things about this, and this is kind of a gizzard shad, and it's got, like I said, I don't even know the size of that blade. They make bigger. They make Colorado blades, but ledgehog, guys, make sure you go check them out. And they're actually going to have their entire lineup on Tackle Warehouse very soon. I don't know when the date of that is going to be, but you'll be able to go to Tackle Warehouse and pick their stuff up. Now let's talk about where I like to fish these. Now, guys, for you guys that get grass in your lakes, this right here is an amazing bait. So let's talk about that first. So grass, this is a great bait to fish that deep weed line, you know, anywhere from 7 feet to 10 to 15. You know, you can go with that 1 ounce to that 1.5 ounce, and you're really going to be able to slow roll that deep weed line. And they make any color you want, guys. I just had him make me some bluegill colors in about 3 different sizes, and I'm telling you, they're phenomenal. I cannot wait to get out here and throw it down these deep ledges. Now, we'll get to that in just a minute. I wanted to throw out there a little bit of offshore fishing for you guys that's got the grass. Now, the go-to size is really that 1.5 in that grass. It's really kind of the go-to size when you're slow rolling, kind of long points, tapering points. You know, anything that gets down to about 15 to 20. Now, once we get to 20 feet, when we get out there on those ledges that are deep, and especially on, you know, the lakes that I fish, that's when I'm going to go up to that 2.5 ounce. Yeah, you heard me right. A 2.5 ounce spinnerbait. Now, I will tell you guys, just like with any spinnerbait, you're going to want some sort of cover. You're going to want some sort of wind if you're in clear water, or you're going to want some stained water when you're throwing this. You're going to want something that's going to break that light penetration up, but not too much, because you know, if you're fishing deep, 20 foot plus, you know, 20 to 30 feet, you know, you don't need a whole lot, because that light's not going to penetrate great unless it's just super clear water. Generally, the lakes around here, for me, it's 15 foot, so you know, generally that 2.5 ounce is what I go with, and I go with it in natural colors like a shad or a bluegill. Those are the two colors that I generally throw. And since I am fishing it in clear water, I'm going to want to fish it around grass, which I don't have a lot of, so I'm going to want it to fish it really on windy days. Windy days are low light conditions, just like a spinnerbait any other time of the year or any other depth level. So let's talk about the two different style heads and how we rig both of those. So now they've got a head that is really a spinnerbait style head. It's really sleek and it's designed to come through grass. Now you can put some sort of trailer on that. I wouldn't put a lot on it, you know, maybe just your standard, some sort of little flicker, maybe a little worm, something like that. That's all I would put on it. But other than that, what I generally throw most of the time is this, and this is their swim bait head because I don't fish a lot of grass. There's not a lot of grass around me. So rigging it, one of the two things that I like to do is either leave the skirt on for a little extra if I got, you know, some real good wind or some, you know, just a little bit of dirtier water. I'll leave that skirt on to give it a bigger profile, especially if I'm fishing my bluegill colors. If I'm fishing my bluegill colors, I really love to leave that skirt on. You get a little bigger profile. And I'll actually add one of the Bass Munitions 5-inch Patriot minnows to it. And guys, I'm telling you, this thing with a Patriot minnow on it, it is killer. Now, if it's maybe just a slight chop to the water, just a little bit of ripple to it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that skirt off so I can get a nice, sleek, kind of, you know, almost Alabama rig. You got two bait fish swimming together. Now, as far as rod, reel, and line, now here's the deal for me. I tell you this all the time. If I'm casting this and I'm throwing it out on ledges, I want the longest rod I can get. So I'm going with a 7.6 to a 7.11, 7.8. You know, basically I'm throwing at 2.5. I'm going to throw it on pretty much the same style rod that I'm going to throw my Alabama rig on. Now, so that means it's going to be a, you know, 7.6, 7.8, 7.11, somewhere in there. Heavy power, fast action, even an extra fast action. You know, to get this bait out there, especially the 2.5, and you throw that big swim bait on it, it's going to weigh, this bait's going to be heavy, guys. It's going to be probably right at that just over 3 ounces at that point. So as far as line goes, guys, now I'm going to upsize my line. I'm going to try my best to keep it as low and small as I can because, again, you're getting so much lift from the blade, so much lift from the swim bait on the back that you want to keep your line as small as you can get it. Now, if you're fishing in open water, that's not that big of a deal. Probably going to try and stay in that 17-pound test area. I'll even go, if I'm fishing real deep, I'll go down to that 15-pound test. I've got a lot of faith in the 15-pound test that I use. You guys see me boat hop, you know, 3, 4, 5 pounders all the time on 15-pound tests, so I'm not scared. I get the job done, you know, using 15-pound tests, and that small line diameter is going to help you keep this bait deep, you know, as long as you can. Now, reel. Guys, I want a slow reel. I want it in the 5s. And I mean, I want it in the slow 5s because you have got to painstakingly reel this bait nice and slow. Now, let's talk about retrieves. The two retrieves that I'm going to use are going to be a slow roll and it's going to be a yo-yo. So we're going to make a long cast. We're going to feed line so that spinnerbait drops down behind that school of bass, and we're going to let it get to the bottom. And then we're going to give it a little tug, just kind of a side tug, just like you would a Carolina rig, but just enough to get that blade up. And trust me, with these blades, you'll feel that bait get up and start moving. So we're going to give it just a little tug to get that bait moving, and we're just going to slow roll it, and we're going to reel it just enough to where you barely feel that blade pulsate, just boom, boom, boom. just a nice, slow, pulsating retrieve. Now, yo-yoing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing. Going to make that long cast, going to feed it line so that it falls straight down, and then I'm just going to fish it just like you would a flutter spoon. I'm going to lift it up, maybe not, you know, the jerk, but I'm really going to lift it, and then I'm going to let it fall on semi-slack line so that it falls to the bottom. I'm going to lift it up, and I'm going to let it fall on semi-slack line. And I'm going to do that all the way back to the boat. Now you got to be ready. The reason I'm going to keep it just a semi-slack, that is when they're going to crush it. Hey guys, I want to give Ledgehog a big shout out. Listen, they have done so much for my channel, just in spreading the word about my channel, letting me do interviews with them when I'm at shows. They've just been some great guys. They've done a ton, and I mean, guys, I don't want to show you everything. I'm going to show you the spinnerbaits. So as I'm talking here, I want you to see some of these awesome spinnerbaits that they've sent me. So I'm going to show you those, but I'm not even going to show you some of the blade baits that they sent right now. But one of the things I want you to know, and I know they're going to want me to tell you this, is if you look, it's not an R bend, it's a closed loop, and it is a closed loop on everything, guys. So they put top quality stuff. Listen, I know this guy, he's an engineer, Mr. Rice. He don't do things half-cocked. He don't do things halfway. That's just who he is. He's going to do it the right way every time. I'm telling you guys, they're top quality in all their products. They make the best blade baits out there. Go to their website and look at them. By the way, they do have a YouTube channel. It is Ledgehog. Go check it out. They've got some really cool stuff out there on their massive blade baits. Go check that out. As always, guys, questions and comments in the comment section below. I bet this is one you didn't see coming. Not a lot of people make these big spinner baits now, so make sure you go out and support Ledgehog. I love them, and I've really noticed that the big spinner bait bite is beginning to come back. But anyway, questions, comments down in the comment section below. You know I love to talk about fishing with you. You know I love to talk about ledge fishing with you, because that is just what I love to do. Like it if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you ring that bell so you know when these videos are coming out, guys. So important for you guys to watch and support the channel. It helps me grow. It helps me be able to do stuff like this and get these guys to come in and give back to you. So I really do appreciate those of you that's hung in there with me through all the work that I've been doing, the 70 and 80 hour weeks. And you know, I know the boat build isn't necessarily the most exciting thing to watch, but for those of you that have consistently showed up to this channel, and you know who you are, I know who you are, I want to say you guys are the daggone Bass Geeks, man. I appreciate you. Bass Geek Nation, Geek Nation, you guys freaking rock.